final come out. We saw the Allison Schmidt. She is the only American woman to have a time in the top 10 in the world this year. You see Pellegrini's world record, Katie Hoff's American record that's 4 years old now, and of course Katie Hoff, the silver medalist in this race in Beijing. Katie is in this final. Katie Hoff and Kate Ziegler were the two in Beijing. They represented the United States at this distance. Rachel North, University of Virginia. She'll swim out of lane 1 in this final. Chloe Sutton, you know about her open water history, and she won the 1500 here in Charlotte. She'll swim in lane 2. Katie Hoff swims in lane 3. 4:11.73 was her prelim swim. This is the interesting name that Rowdy mentioned, 15 years old. In fact, she just turned 15. Kathleen Ledecky from the Curl Burke Swim Club in and around Washington, D.C. And this will be fascinating to watch her as she's between Katie Hoff and Allison Schmidt, 2 Olympians. Schmidt 4:05.9 was her time, which is 10th best in the world this year. In fact, only American to be in the top 10 the last 2 years. Jillian Ryan won the 800 free last summer in the Nationals at Stanford. Andriana Pinto from Venezuela and Chelsea Nada in lane 8 complete the field.
Last time the U.S. won an Olympic gold medal in this event was Brooke Bennett back in 2000. Katie Hoff just missed winning the gold in 2008, 7/100ths of a second behind Adlington.
The United States did get Hoff's silver in a terrific effort in Beijing. The last 2 world championships, 09 and 11, the United States has not medaled in either one.
Yeah, and the United States in that mid part of the quad, in 2010, they had 3 swimmers in the top 10 in the world. They had none last year. And now, as you mentioned in the B final, that Allison Schmidt actually slipped in there. She's 10th in the world this year. But I think they have potential. They're going to have to make some pretty dramatic drops, though, Ted. If you look at the top times in the world this year, 4:01, 4:02, 4:03.4 is 3rd. Schmidt's 10th with 4:05.9. So they're going to have to make some pretty dramatic drops if they're going to be able to crack the medal case. But you look at Allison Schmidt, I think she's going to have a great Olympic trial. I'm not going to start making predictions in London, but I think she's going to surprise a lot of people. Meaning,
yeah, in a particular event or overall?
I think overall. I think she's going to have a great 200, well, specifically the 200 and 400 freestyle. Those are her 2 best events. She's just improved in so many different facets of her swim. Her turns are better, her underwaters are better. A good solid kick off the wall now. She's a smarter swimmer than she was in 2008 as well.
And she's leading right here, but as we come into 200, 15-year-old Kathleen Ledecky, there she is on the right. She's right there with her.
And I think this is so good for both of them, Ted. Both Ledecky and Schmidt. It's good that Ledecky is pushing Schmidt, and it's great that Ledecky is actually playing a little catch-up here, that she's not in the lead. Let her be the hunter, so to speak, and let Schmidt be the hunted. I think this is really nice for both of them. It'll give both a little bit of confidence in the future. There's Schmidt right there. There's Ledecky. Up there in lane number 2 is Chloe Sutton.
As Chloe Sutton is 3rd. Katie Hoff is pretty well off the pace. It looks to be 2, and maybe Sutton can make this 3 in this race.
And it would be probably wise if Ledecky moved over just a little bit, and this is where this inexperience is going to help her. I'm sure her coach is going to say, hey, listen, from 100 to 200, why weren't you right up against that lane line dragging off the Schmidt? And that's what she's doing now. You can see all of a sudden she's right at her hips, but Schmidt is not giving her any room to breathe right now. Ledecky is trying to get into it as much as possible, but Schmidt is doing a nice job of holding her off right now. 3:03 going out. Boy, if she can come home and 101 plus and go 105, 405 low here, that would be a very good time. Not only for Allison Schmidt, but if Ledecky can hang on and go 406, 407, that would be a great time.
Well, this is a terrific race. Again, it's really two players. Chloe Sutton is a strong third right now, but Allison Schmidt is staying, anywhere it looks like 2/3 to 3/4 of a body length ahead. And now Ledecky will see her the way they breathe. Ledecky will breathe right. She sees Schmidt.
Yeah, you're good. That's a great point you make, Ted. Ledecky breathes to the right the whole way. Allison Schmidt's breathing to the right the whole way, but look at the length of stroke. You see, look at that beautiful plane that Allison Schmidt has. Look at the kick that Ledecky's putting in now.
Boy, Ledecky's pushing here. I don't know if she has enough, but she's making it tight. What an effort by this 15-year-old, but Allison Schmidt is going to hang on and win it. 4:05.4, Schmidt wins it by 39/100ths. That is a terrific swim, and you, Rowdy Gaines, as always, you hit it early. What Ledecky may well have done was propel Schmidt, because Allison Schmidt just had the 4th fastest time in the world this year, and Ledecky's in the top 10 herself.
There's no way either one of them, I think, would have gone that fast without each other in that race. I think if Allison Schmidt's there with Chloe Sutton, I think they're both 4:06, 4:07. But I think it was so beautiful on both of them, for both of them. But Allison Schmidt and Ledecky, and now look at Ledecky, all of a sudden becomes a huge factor, Ted, in the 400 freestyle. She is going to be so tough now, and this is exactly what she needed, and she did not give up the entire 400 meters. There was no way she was going to give up.
And that's really the great point, was that Allison Schmidt knew. I mean, Ledecky was on her hip most of those 400 meters, and Ledecky put a great push there at the end, but did not get her. So Allison Schmidt, you're tough. You had that young lady was right on your hip that whole race. You knew that, didn't you?
Yeah.
What were you thinking at about the halfway point, knowing the race was kind of shaping up between you and Kathleen?
I was just trying to finish. I was like, man, it's only 4 laps in, but it was a great race.
What did you think of your time? Were you happy with the time?
Yeah, I was definitely happy. I think it's my 2nd fastest this season, so 4 seconds faster than I went this summer in Nationals.
Let me rephrase it. Did you think you were going to go that fast?
If you would have asked me about a half hour ago, no.
Why is that?
When I was in the locker room putting on my suit, and definitely didn't think I was going to go 4:05 tonight.
Oh, you certainly did, and that was a great race. I was telling Ted, I thought it was as good of a race for you as it was for Kathleen to be able to push you like that.
Yeah, she definitely was there the whole time. I definitely probably wouldn't have won a 4:05 without her right there.
Yeah.
We'll let you breathe. Is that okay? Catch your breath. Congratulations. That's a terrific 4th best time in the world this year.
Thank you.
Allison
Nice job.
Schmidt winning the women's 400 free. We'll come back to Charlotte on Universal Sports, and we'll take a look back at Michael Phelps' other race during this Grand Prix. Michael Phelps and Ryan Lochte head-to-head in the men's 200 free. That's next.